was he aware? Did he know that Hunter was out there doing all these things and using access? And at first it was like, I had no idea, wasn't talking. And then suddenly it's like, well, I was on some phone calls, but it wasn't important. And now the media's got to spin that narrative. Well, he wasn't talking about anything of substance.
Well, there's a new photo that just got released of him on a plane to Ukraine in 2015.
Yeah.
So I think this is, to my point, that I think they're slowly releasing this stuff because they plan on getting rid of him.
Yeah. Well, if they do, then what happens to Kamala Harris?
She's gone.
Yeah?
Yeah. Yeah, there's no way. You can't keep her. She's got the lowest approval rating of any vice president ever, including Dan Quayle.
Oh, God. There's a good
people forgot about that guy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
He was what they used to, comics used to joke that guy was assassination insurance. Nobody wants to kill the president and then have that fucking guy take over.
I forgot about that. But no, but you're right. And I think if... Yeah, they can't move Kamala Harris out as long as Biden's the candidate, right? Because that they wouldn't weather that optic. But if he has to step aside, then obviously it's a brand new ticket. It's a brand new day, and they'll come up with something. So, I guess the question is, do they firmly believe that Biden can't win again if it's Trump or whomever?
The only way Biden's going to win again is never Trump. These never Trump people.
Yeah.
There are people that will vote for a fucking box of hammers before they would vote for Trump. And that's a real segment of our population. I don't know what percentage is, but it's probably fairly high. They have enough trust in the Democratic establishment that they think that the Democrats would figure out a way to run the country better, even with a puppet, than they would with Donald Trump in office.
Yeah. Well, and I think there's also the independents. Don't forget, the independents are sort of the moderates that, previously had voted for Trump and then got tired of the chaos, and then in the last election said, no, I'm not going to do that again. I don't think they walk it back and say, yeah, actually give me, because I don't. People are, again, very emotive. So,
well, there's also the indictments. Now, what is your take on this Georgia thing? Because the Georgia thing is interesting, because I was just watching this video today that was detailing what they were claiming was evidence of fraud in the Georgia election.
Yeah.
And there's apparently some videos of people moving boxes around and doing some things that seem a little, at least on the surface, suspicious without an adequate explanation.
Yeah. I think it's... I think they don't care whether they win or not, and I think they brought a fairly massive racketeering or RICO, charge at the top of this, sort of a criminal
10 counts,
conspiracy.
right?
Yeah, but it involves like Trump plus 18 others, and I think they can't be stupid, so they probably understand that it falls apart in appeal, right? And I don't think that's going to hold up, but I don't think they care, because last night, again, it shows you how bizarre this is. They held a press conference, right? They rushed this thing through. First of all, here's an interesting fact. First of all, the indictment showed up on the county website, right, in the afternoon, before the grand jury had voted, right, before they had come across with what the charges would be. Right? And so all of a sudden, that comes across on the public domain. And I think it was Reuters that snapped it and kind of ran with it as a story. But then it was taken down off the county's website, right? And they were asked about it later on, and they said, it was fictitious or some bullshit, right? So you wonder, okay, how did that get leaked? Because then those charges that showed up earlier in the day matched what ended up being voted on by the grand jury. So that's a little odd, and it's, as far as I can remember, I think it's illegal to leak that sort of information, right, ahead of time. But also, how would they know? How would they know how the grand jury was going to decide at the end of the day what indictments to throw out there or to put out there in this charge? So that's something that probably should be looked at, but in today's world may not. But I think really she was pushing last night at whatever 11:30, 12 o'clock at night. I mean, who holds a press conference at this point, at that time of night? But she was saying she wants it out there and to start this trial in 6 months. And so, 6 months from now is whatever, February. So right in the middle of all the caucuses and all the campaigning that goes on. And whether it's that one or whether it's the one from D.C. or it doesn't matter. They're creating a very lasting narrative that's going to go through the election season. And I think that's really what they want. And whether any of this actually holds, I don't think they give a rat's ass. You know, some people do. Yeah.
If this was happening in the other direction?
Oh.
And by the way, if Trump was in office and Biden was running against him, and this evidence was available, this evidence of all the corruption with his son, I mean, that's far clearer. This is like real clear stuff.
Well, but they always come back with, well, look, it was the Trump kids were working and doing business, and you think, well, they had a business, right? They were real estate developers. There's tangible activity there. Now, that's part of the problem. That's how it gets muddied. Is that people, in the media or people who are supportive of an administration will say, yeah, but everybody does it. Right? Everybody's engaged in pay for play. Everybody's engaged in influence peddling. And there's, some truth in that. But not everybody's engaged in money laundering.
Right.
That might, be worth some investigation. But again, I don't think that the point of this exercise on the part of the various DAs, and that's another thing. Look, the DA down in Georgia is that's an elected position, and she's running for office again, and she's campaigning based on getting Trump, right? And she's raising money off of this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to get Trump, right? That seems a little odd too, right? I mean, I don't know. It's no surprise that people are losing confidence in the government.
Have you looked at any of the evidence of election manipulation?
Some, but I'll be honest with you, I haven't disappeared fully down that rabbit hole yet. I'm.
Seems like it'd really suck in.
Yeah, I think it would. And there's a lot of communities. At the times that I have looked, there's a lot of shit out there, and trying to decipher what is just crazy ass bullshit from what is legitimate and deserves investigation, right? I'll be honest with you. I run out of time, and I'm just like, I'm sorry, I got to go, watch one of the kids' games. So, which, by the way, one of my kids, the middle boy, Sluggo, is heading to Florida to go to boarding school at the end of the month.
Oh boy!
Yeah, he's going to go play basketball at IMG, which is an amazing academy, amazing place.
Is that going to be hard for you? Have him go to boarding school?
Yeah, we couldn't wait to get him out of the house. No, he's a great kid. He's all the boys are fantastic, but